Put your favorite party dress on. The goddess of love is making its annual debut via the festive sign of Leo, and it's giving us all the more reason to celebrate. What are you most proud of? What makes you stand out in the crowd? Charismatic and sparkling with self-confidence, you'll be surprised to learn how Venus in Leo 2023 will affect each zodiac sign. Aries. Grab your favorite childhood photo and create an altar for your inner child. Otherwise, when was the last time you enjoyed a celebratory night out? The planet of love is pirouetting through your heart-centered fifth house of authenticity, creativity and self-expression, which means it's time to put your talents on display. Not to worry, you won't have to try very hard. You're a magnet for praise and affection this Venusian season, and your theatrical persona makes you all the more irresistible. To think your red-hot ruler, Mars, is also charging up this area of your chart. As for Venus retrograde, you'll want to make note of your creative ideas and inspirations between July and September. BTW, romantic flings from the past are also likely to resurface, so keep your head held high and show them what they've been missing. Taurus. Home is where both your heart and the party is, so call up your best pals cause you're the host with the most. This is also an excellent transit for family gatherings and fun-filled activities that bring you and your loved ones together. Now, in addition to having your celestial ruler, Venus, sweetening things up in your humble abode, you also have feisty Mars adding wood to the fire. Those of you entertaining the thought of readorning your living space, don't hesitate to take the creative lead, as long as you're being mindful of your spending. Venus retrograde will be especially significant for you, given that Venus just so happens to be your planetary ruler, not to mention retrograding through the most personal sector in your chart. Themes surrounding family assets, childhood heirlooms and/or your close relatives could come up for review. Gemini. It's hard to use your indoor voice when both Mars and Venus are in Leo, let alone igniting your chatty third house of communication. Fortunately, there's nothing you enjoy more than dynamic storytelling and, well, the tea will be scorching hot now that the planet of love is dazzling this area of your chart. Whether via Instagram DMs with your crush, or in the break room with your favorite coworkers, there's no denying your theatrical and charismatic persona. You're already a brilliant conversationalist, so go on and take the mic. Keep in mind, between July and September, Venus retrograde will likely inspire you with an influx of ideas, whether creatively or with regards to your personal life. You're naturally fickle, but it can be difficult to stay present at this time. Make sure you're communicating clearly and penciling in your miscellanies. Cancer. Remember who you are, and don't be afraid to prioritize your personal values. You are worth more than you give yourself credit for. Although, whether for better or for worse, your relationship with money and your sense of self-worth are being brought to the forefront at this time. This is especially true with Venus making its regal debut in Leo, and your stability-seeking second house of money, finances and possessions. Feeling the urge to splurge? Venus already craves the finer things, but the glitz and glamour tends to go up a notch, or two, when transiting lavish Leo. Moreover, Venus will backspin through this area of your chart between July and September, which is where you could be confronted with a newfound awareness around finances and/or your sense of security in general. Are you sure of what you can bring to the table? Leo. Not that you've never not been ready for your close-up, but it's all eyes on you and for more reasons than one. In addition to having both Mars and now Venus in your sign, your ruler, the Sun, is also lighting up your 11th house of social contributions and sense of belonging in the world. Reflect on your personal branding and unique identity. After all, you're more likely to connect with potential suitors under this dazzling transit, whether for personal or professional reasons. More importantly, Venus will retrograde in your sign between July and September, and no, this doesn't put a damper on your birthday festivities. If anything, this is an opportunity for you to tend to your personal appearance, or perhaps refresh your wardrobe selection. Warning: steer clear of cosmetic procedures and risky makeovers that have the potential of going south. Virgo. Take a load off, Virgo. Lady Venus will be joining go-getter Mars in Leo, via your sleepy 12th house of closure, inhibitions and unconscious patterns, which presents you with an opportunity to get reacquainted with your personal life behind the scenes. And though you're compassionate by nature, it's important to be discerning when it comes to the sacrifices you consciously and/or unconsciously choose to make. This is also a wonderful time to check in with yourself, and bask in some well-deserved alone time. Activities where you can reconnect with your Zen, a day at the spa, meditation, yoga, etc., are suggested. Venus will eventually station retrograde, and this could bring awareness to relationship patterns you unknowingly subscribe to, while others of you find the will to surrender a romantic partnership once and for all. Libra. Your social media content is poppin', but then again, it's hard not to double tap when you're Venusian and irresistible. Also, it's not every day your luscious planetary ruler sashays through your 11th house of soirees, friendship and social contributions. You're living it up, and showing the world the true story of a sparkling socialite. Mars is also igniting this area of your chart, which means if you're suddenly crushing or craving romantic attention from an acquaintance, it's bound to fizzle as quickly as it starts. On July 22nd, your goddess ruler will station retrograde, which is where things are bound to get interesting. For example, if you've been surrounding yourself with superficial energies who aren't genuinely supportive of your unique talents, or simply not in alignment with your future goals and aspirations, the truth will be crystal clear. Scorpio. Spruce up your LinkedIn profile, and restock those business cards. Venus will be joining your co-ruler, Mars, via the show-stopping sign of Leo, and your 10th house of authority, reputation and legacy in the world. Whether professionally or in terms of finances, Venus brings out the best in you, as you are equally as diplomatic as you are celebrated for your work ethic at this time. This is when the stars align for a well-deserved promotion, while others may send out resumes in hopes of landing the job of your dreams. The irony of this glow-up, however, is that Venus will eventually station retrograde in this area of your chart, but this doesn't take away from its appeal. In fact, if you were contemplating whether to launch your own business, or perhaps connect with a mentor that could help you level up, now's the time to do it. My advice? Put a portfolio of your work together. Sagittarius. Are you ready to take the stage? Everything from your unique POV to the creativity behind your personal experiences is under the spotlight of this Venusian transit. Everyone has something that makes them stand out in the crowd, but it's up to you to stand firm in what you believe in. Nevertheless, whether through travel or a higher form of education, this is an opportunity for you to reconnect with your heart's desires, and what essentially has the power to set your soul on fire. Keep in mind, Venus will retrograde through this area of your chart between July and September, which means that amidst expanding your horizons, via relationships and/or financial opportunities, it's important to remain humble, and keep an open mind. You learn something new every day, and there's so much to learn about yourself in the process. Capricorn. Intimacy and sexual chemistry are top of mind with both Mars and Venus shaking up your 8th house of shared resources and energy exchanges. Although, despite your lust for a life and insatiable urge to merge, you're being confronted with the shadowy attributes of your love language and individual desires. Is there an equal amount of give and take in this transaction? Are you confident in vocalizing your personal needs? There is rage and passion surrounding your connections, but with Venus stationing retrograde on July 22nd, there is an opportunity to heal and reconnect with your sense of self-worth. This is especially true for those of you who have experienced power dynamics in your intimate connections, whether financially or when pertaining to investments of the ego. Aquarius. We all get by with a little help from our friends, but you're not about to settle for anything less than the royal treatment. After all, with Venus dazzling your committed 7th house of agreements, compromise and significant others, you're not only as present as ever in your relationships, but also reveling in the unique attention that comes with it. This is an excellent transit for personal and professional collaborations, specifically those where you can shine bright in your authenticity. More importantly, however, Venus will be stationing retrograde in Leo between July and September. And though you're craving harmony in your one-on-one connections, you could come to realize which relationships require more time, energy and sacrifice, whether it be because of you or them. On a brighter note, pending legal matters could become finalized if revisited. Pisces. When we feel our best, we do our best, and you're seeing this firsthand with Venus dazzling your 6th house of health, day-to-day affairs and acts of service. Whether personally or in terms of your occupation, Venus' journey through vivacious Leo is not only energizing and motivating you, but also making sure the sun shines a light on your unique gifts on a daily basis. You're just as productive as you are inspired, and you may also receive sweet compliments and encouragement from those you connect with regularly. As for Venus retrograde, however, this is an excellent time to partake in detoxes, cleanses and/or a much-needed decluttering in your personal space. You have the courage to maximize your day in the best way possible, and the more authentic you are in your approach, the better. In the meantime, reflect on how you can be the king and/or queen of your world on a daily basis.